Hey guys, today we're going to be taking a look at the Goruck Heritage GR1. And I've been a big fan of Goruck over the past couple of years. I really love the quality, the aesthetic, and the layout of their bags. So I was excited when they announced the Heritage collection a while back, as it seemed like a great combination of Goruck's sort of minimalistic aesthetic with the more timeless look that a vintage style rucksack typically has. And I've had a chance to test this out over the past couple of weeks, and in this video I'm going to be talking about my experience using it. I'll show you how I've loaded it out. I'll talk about how it compares to some of the other Goruck bags that I've used, and I'll also talk about why this one may be my favorite one so far. Before jumping into the video, I want to thank the company for sending the bag for me to test out. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Danny, and on this channel we love reviewing popular travel and everyday carry gear. If you like these types of videos and you'd be interested in seeing more, please consider subscribing, as it helps the channel out a lot. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. Starting off with the outside of the bag, the silhouette and shape here will feel pretty familiar to any other Goruck bags that you've seen, and I've always been a big fan of their aesthetic. However, this Heritage bag takes it to another level. It really is a beautiful bag in my opinion. For me in particular, I've always been a fan of this sort of Heritage style type of bag. It just feels very vintage and timeless, something that's never gonna go out of style and really just look great in any environment and for any use case. It's definitely something that I would feel very comfortable wearing, into an office setting for walking around the city. It also, has kind of an explorer vibe, so I'd definitely be comfortable taking this into the outdoors for traveling. So pretty much for any use case, I think this is gonna look great, and it's something that I think I'll be able to use regardless of whatever point in time I find myself in. As far as the colors, the one that I have here is the dark oak. There are a few different variations. There is a lighter brown kind of tan color. They've recently released a slate kind of gray. There's also navy. For me, the dark oak has always been sort of the dream bag. I really just love this color. I feel like it matches up with a lot of stuff and really just kind of leans into that Heritage style vibe. As far as the materials, the primary fabric here is a 10-ounce waxed canvas. I've had a few different bags that have waxed canvas in the past. They've always held up very well. It feels super rugged and just kind of buttery smooth is maybe the way that I would describe it. Everything is just very broken in right out of the box, which is different than the experience I've had with 1000D Gorucks, where it's a little bit stiffer. I really just love how this feels, without sacrificing quality or durability. With the waxing process that's been added, it also feels like, it's gonna offer some weather resistance. It's still a bag that I would honestly be a little bit afraid to get caught in a rainstorm with, as I'd be worried about staining or any damage. But that's probably just me. It feels like it's gonna, hold up well, as it's a process that's been proven over many years. And then of course you have, the very rugged YKK zippers with the silent zipper pulls all throughout, which works super smoothly. And on the handle and bottom of the bag, you have a Red Wing leather, which, is a well-known leather producer. It's durable, it feels great. Of course, as this bag is a little bit newer, it still doesn't really show any of that patina or signs of wear, but both with the canvas and the leather accenting, in addition to just giving it a very premium feeling, it's material that is gonna age nicely. And once I put it through more adventures, I'm really excited to see the sort of style that it's gonna have. On the front, just going along with the Heritage theme, Goruck has, the traditional Velcro patch where you can customize this. I really love this leather patch that's actually included with the bag to kind of just match the aesthetic very nicely. So really solidly built bag overall. And then on the exterior, one of the biggest differences between the Heritage and the other GR1s that I've used is that this is their slick style. So it doesn't have any MOLLE webbing on the exterior, nothing on the front or the sides as my other GR1 has. So you do lose a little bit of functionality there as far as, being able to attach pouches, but I love how clean this looks with the Heritage bag. Now, I'm guessing that with Goruck Scars program, you could send this in and get that added on, but for me, this cleaner look works quite well with this particular style of bag. As far as the capacity, the version that I have here is the 21 liter version. The GR1 is also offered in a 26 liter, but to me, the 21 liter hits the sweet spot as far as offering enough capacity for everything that I need to carry with me, especially with the simpler layout that Goruck bags have. They're just able to hold an impressive amount. And I like that this is a smaller silhouette, it's not overwhelmingly big, and it maintains a very slim profile even when it's packed out, so that it's going to be great for navigating crowded areas, jumping onto public transit, and carrying on to pretty much any domestic or international airline, and being able to place it under the seat in front of you. Taking a look at the straps and the back pedaling, so far the bag has been really comfortable to wear. This has probably been my favorite
Goruck bag to wear. I've had some struggles in the past with just being able to successfully break in the straps on my GR1 and GR2 when they're 1000D. It just feels like it takes a long time to get them to a point where they don't feel quite as stiff. The material can also be a little bit abrasive, and so those challenges are not present here with the wax canvas. You still have really thick, comfortable padding, but it just feels a little bit nicer right out of the box with this fabric. Of course, the breathability isn't gonna be, super intense as much as you might have with an air mesh fabric, but none of the GR1s that I've had in the past have a ton of breathability. You do have a little bit of a kind of a gap or air channel here. And then the width on the straps is fantastic. It doesn't feel like the bag is gonna dig into my shoulders. I don't feel any fatigue or anything like that. And I just really love, as always, how reinforced everything is, for carrying any ruck weights that you might wanna use this for. And then on the back paneling, similar thing here with the material just being a little bit softer and more comfortable out of the box than 1000D. Not a ton of breathability. You do have some air channels here, similar to other Goruck bags that you may have seen. So I think it works well. It has felt great. I also really like that they added the leather accenting here on the back. And overall, regardless of how I've loaded this bag out, it has felt very comfortable, even as I've been wearing it for longer periods of time. Jumping into the organizational options, if you've seen some of my other Goruck videos, this may feel a little bit familiar. I'll try to call out some of the differences that I noticed between this and my GR1 specifically, starting off with the front slant pocket, which is always a little bit of a controversial pocket, you could say, with Goruck bags, as it's pretty slim. It can be hard to use when you pack out the main area. I think that with this fabric, it actually becomes a lot more usable with how broken in and kind of soft this is. You still have a nice rain flap coming over to give you that additional protection against the elements. And because the bag has a little more give, I was able to actually fit quite a bit of stuff in here, even with my typical loadout. So currently, it's still an area that I'm gonna use probably more for flatter items, nothing too bulky that would really cause, kind of awkward shapes or potentially mark the material in ways that I wouldn't like. So at the moment, what I have in here is my Kindle e-reader. I also have a full-size moleskin notebook, and I also tossed in my Tom Bin Ghostwell pouch that has just smaller EDC and tech accessories. At the top of the bag is one of the pockets I was most excited about with this bag. That is the quick access pocket, which is a little bit of a newer addition to some of Goruck's bags. I've been very envious to see some of the newer models coming out and not having that, as this is the type of pocket that I love to have in pretty much any bag that I use. It's just super convenient for being able to reach down and grab items quickly, and it actually offers a pretty decent amount of volume. So as you can see, I have a few different items in here, and it's not hard to get them in and out as needed. So jumping in, I have my Apple AirPods, which is always nice to be able to grab at a moment's notice. I have a lightning cable and power brick to charge my tablet and my phone, and then I also have my sunglasses, which are able to fit into the pocket with their case. On the back, you have Goruck's bomb-proof laptop compartment, which you access by flipping the straps back to be able to get to this zipper. You have a pretty wide opening here to make it easy to get your device in and out of the compartment. It's a really well-padded and protective laptop area. It has a false bottom, so you can have confidence when you place your device in that it's not going to be making contact with the ground. And this is going to be able to hold up to a 15 or 16-inch laptop, even on the 21-liter version. Currently what I have in here is my 13-inch MacBook Pro, but you can see there's plenty of leftover space. It's easy to get it in and out. And then you also have a removable frame sheet on the back, which provides a nice amount of support and protection, but it's always good that you can remove that if you prefer not to have it. Moving into the main compartment, as with other Goruck bags, you have a great clamshell style opening. The zippers go all the way down. They're very smooth, and then you have full access and visibility to anything that you might need to reach. This always makes it very easy to pack everything out in a way that makes the most sense for what you're carrying. This layout makes it super easy, as always, to hold bulkier items. And as mentioned earlier, with 21 liters, I'm always surprised by how much I'm able to squeeze into this area. Here at the top, you can see the volume from the quick access pocket sneaking down, so you can see it'll take up a little bit of space, and it's not a huge pocket, but a really nice balance here. And so the items that I have here, similar to many of my other daily bag loadouts. So I have my Beats wireless headphones. I have started carrying a rain jacket with me, a packable rain jacket. It's actually a really convenient thing to have, particularly on some of the trips that I've been taking. In this compartment, I also have a 20-ounce water bottle, which with a lot of my Goruck bags, I tend to store in this main area. Because the laptop is stored in a separate compartment, I'm not as concerned with spills. That water bottle also does a good job of locking its lid. One thing I do want to call out, however, is that because you don't have any webbing on the side, you're not able to add an exterior water bottle pocket, as I have done with the GR1 at some points. Beyond that, I also have my drone with its hard shell case, and then I have the Evergood Civic Access pouch, which is one of my go-tos, particularly when I'm working remote. Now with this compartment empty, you can get a better look at the layout. Again, very similar to other Goruck bags. This is really where they're probably most similar as far as the pocketing and the layout. Here you have some rows of MOLLE webbing on the inside. This they did keep, so you can attach accessories with carabiners or clip-on pens, flashlights, pocket knives. You can also combine this with the field pockets or other MOLLE pouches that are on the market. And then at the bottom you have this additional sleeve, which has a little bit of elasticity, which can be used to hold ruck plates. You probably place a water bladder in here, although you don't have the nozzle pass-through that has been part of other Goruck bags when you have this quick access pocket at the top. I, however, just use this for storing my tablet. I currently have my iPad mini in here just to keep it separate from other items in the compartment, but you definitely use this to store a full-size 10 or 11-inch tablet as well. And then one of the things that I always love about this layout and the size of the 21-liter GR1 is how well it works for minimal travel. I can definitely toss in a packing cube, a dock kit, maybe an extra pair of shoes, and easily use this for a weekend trip. Moving over to the flap of the main compartment, you have these same zippered compartments that are part of other GR1s that we've looked at. The biggest difference I'll call out here is you have the patch, which has GR1 built in the USA Heritage Edition. So I really love, again, just the consistency all throughout the bag with the aesthetic and the materials. On the bottom, you have a larger mesh compartment, which actually offers a pretty decent amount of volume. A great way to organize for some of these items that didn't fit in one of the pouches that I was carrying or that I just want to be able to reach a little bit more easily. And currently what I have here is the remote for the DJI Mavic Mini that I showed earlier. And then I also have my laptop charger and the charging cable to go with it. Above that, you have another zippered compartment that's a little bit smaller than the one at the bottom. This is actually what I used to use as my quick access pocket for sunglasses and my phone and headphones before having this top one that's been added to the Heritage. So now it's just nice to have an additional area to store smaller items that I grab pretty regularly during the day. So what I currently have in here is a portable battery that I attach to the back of my phone when I'm low on power. I have a little manicure set that I typically just like to carry with me. And the last thing that I have in here is my Apple Magic Mouse. So really just love this layout. Overall, I've always been a big fan of it with the other Gorucks that I've used. Very functional. I love how it balances simplicity with giving you enough so that you can keep your stuff easily accessible. And in general, I just love the updates and the feel of this with the Heritage material and aesthetic. If you're looking for this type of an EDC backpack that's going to offer plenty of durability, or you just love the GR1 silhouette and you're looking for it in a different style, then this is going to be a really fantastic option to take a look at.
And so to wrap up, it's been a great experience testing out the Heritage GR1 over the past couple of weeks. You can purchase this on the company site for about $415, so it is definitely an investment. It's a pretty high price tag that may not be for everybody. However, you are getting a very well-built bag that's going to be with you for many years to come. It's going to be very reliable, and it's also made in the USA, so if those things are important to you, it may be worth the additional cost. And so as I was testing this out, the first bag this made me think of is, of course, the traditional GR1, which I've had for many years. I still ruck with that regularly. And that one has 1000D fabric. I believe they're offered in 500D at some times as well. And that's gonna have, the more tactical vibe with the MOLLE webbing on the front and the sides. It's not the slick aesthetic that you see here. And I still really like the additional functionality that has. And I also just like the tactical aesthetic. The bag, the 21 liter is gonna be the same size, have most of the same feature sets and layout. One of the biggest differences is that may not have the quick access pocket at the top, which I am a big fan of. However, if you're really in the market for a Goruck style bag, you want something that's going to be reliable, that you can ruck with, and that has a little bit more of a tactical vibe, you don't want to kind of go with the Heritage style, then that's going to be one of the best options that you can take a look at. The next bag this made me think of is the Waterfield Designs Bolt Backpack, which is one of my favorite Heritage style bags. just very solidly built. It has a really cool aesthetic. I really like the organizational layout that it has. It has water bottle pockets, quick access pockets, and it also has some modern touches which you don't always see in a lot of Heritage bags. So the straps in the back panel have a breathable mesh material. It has a luggage pass-through, aqua-guarded YKK zipper. So it's a really good sort of blend of modern and Heritage so that you can have that vibe. It's well built in San Francisco. That one's also gonna be on the pricier range, coming in at over $300. So if you're looking for something with this type of a vibe, but again, that's gonna give you some of those more modern touches, and that's gonna be a great option to take a look at. Another bag that this made me think of is the Track Bannock backpack, which is a really solid Heritage style bag. It's more of a top-loading bag compared to the clamshell style that this has. It has, buckles and a flap that you can, just stuff things into a main compartment. A really simple layout overall. It's not a big bag, but it can hold an impressive amount due to the simple nature of how it's built. And it's very durable. It has really solid, kind of timeless materials. Again, external water bottle pockets, some nice quick access compartments, laptop compartment. So it's gonna check off all the boxes for what you would probably want out of a reliable EDC bag. And if you're looking for something that really has a classic aesthetic and is gonna blend in well into a professional environment, then that's gonna be a great option to consider. And then the last option that I'll mention here is the Alpha 19er Whitley pack, which is similar in size to this. It comes in at around 20 liters. It's also clamshell style. It's not gonna have the Heritage vibe that this has, but it is a very well-built and feature-packed bag. It has some great organization, external water bottle pockets, well padded and suspended laptop sleeve. It has one of the most comfortable harness systems that I've tried out as of late, plenty of breathability and padding. The bag just really kind of checks off all the boxes for what you might want out of a minimalist EDC bag. And it also comes in at around $200 or even a little bit less depending on the fabric that you pick. So if you're looking for something at that price point that's gonna have this type of a layout and capacity that's gonna be reliable, then that's gonna be one of the best options that you can take a look at. With that being said, the Heritage GR1 holds up really well against all those options, and if you're looking for a bag with this type of an aesthetic and you have a little bit of a higher budget, it's definitely going to be a fantastic option to consider. I've been a big fan so far. I can definitely see myself using this for many years to come. And I'm curious to hear what you all think of the Heritage line from Goruck and how it compares to some of the other similar options that are currently on the market. And if there are any other bags that you think I should check out, as always, please let me know in the comments. And I want to thank the company again for sending the bag for me to test out, and to you guys for watching and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like, and if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos, and we'll see you in the next one.